morning, good people. Let me ask you something. How many of y'all woke up today, hit the snooze button, rolled over, and told yourself, I'll get to it later? Oh, don't act like I'm the only one who knows that feeling. Some of y'all hit snooze so much your alarm clock just gave up on you. See, laziness is a dream killer. You can have all the talent in the world, all the big ideas, all the visions, but if laziness is in your spirit, none of it is going to happen. You can't pray for success and then sit back waiting for it like Amazon Prime is about to deliver it to your doorstep. Life don't work like that. Let me tell you the truth. Lazy people always got excuses. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm just too tired. I don't feel motivated. Let me break this down for you. Motivation ain't always going to be there. You don't wait to feel like it. You get up and do it. Success don't come to people who wait for perfect conditions. It comes to people who show up every single day, whether they feel like it or not. You ever see a lion hunt? That lion wakes up hungry. He don't roll over and say, I ain't really in the mood to chase no gazelle today. No, he gets up because he knows if he don't move, he don't eat. That's the mindset you need. You want to win? You want to level up? You got to treat laziness like an enemy, because it is. Some of y'all been waiting on a sign to get started on your dreams. Well, here it is. Get up. Get moving. Stop waiting for the right time. The right time is now. You don't need another motivational video, another inspirational quote, or another I'll start Monday promise. You need to take action, because let me tell you something. While you're sitting around making excuses, someone else is out there putting in the work, making it happen, and in 5 years you're going to be looking at them saying, man, I wish I had started back then. So today, make a decision. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Kill your laziness before it kills your dreams. Get up, get out, and go get what's yours. Thank you. Sure. Here's a detailed expansion of the first keynote. Laziness is a dream killer in a motivational and powerful tone. Laziness is the silent thief of dreams. It doesn't come crashing into your life like a storm. It sneaks in quietly, little by little, day by day, disguising itself as comfort, as relaxation, as taking a break. It tells you that you have time, that you can always start tomorrow, that you deserve to rest before you've even put in the work. And before you know it, months pass, then years, and your dreams are still sitting on the shelf, collecting dust. Think about the last time you had a great idea, something you were excited about. Maybe it was a business plan, a fitness goal, or a new skill you wanted to learn. In that moment, you were fired up. You could see the vision clearly. But what happened next? Did you act on it immediately, or did you tell yourself you'd get to it later? That later is where laziness lives. That later is where dreams go to die. People don't fail because they lack talent. They don't fail because they lack intelligence. Most people fail because they simply don't do what they know they need to do. They let distractions win. They let comfort win. They let their own excuses win. The truth is, nobody is naturally lazy. Laziness is a habit. It's a mindset. And just like any habit, it can be broken, but only if you decide to break it. Successful people aren't necessarily the smartest or the most gifted. They're just the ones who refuse to let laziness take control. They wake up early when they don't feel like it. They show up when nobody is watching. They push through the hard days, the uninspired days, the days when it would be so easy to quit. And because of that, they reap the rewards. The biggest lie laziness tells you is that there's no rush, that you can always start later. But life doesn't wait. Every single day you waste is a day you never get back. Look around. There are people out there with less talent than you, less experience than you, fewer resources than you, but they're outworking you. And because they're outworking you, they're winning. It's not about who has the best idea. It's about who is willing to execute. People love to say they want success, but what they really mean is they want success without sacrifice. They want the reward without the effort. They want to wake up one day and have everything fall into place without actually putting in the work. But that's not how life works. Anything worth having requires effort, commitment, and a willingness to push past the resistance that laziness creates. Laziness will trick you into thinking you need more time to prepare. It will tell you you're not ready yet. You should do more research. You should wait for the perfect moment. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is no magical time when everything lines up just right. The perfect moment is the moment you decide to start. And if you don't start, you'll never get anywhere. Think about how much time has already been lost to laziness. All the opportunities you could have taken, all the skills you could have developed, all the progress you could have made. Now imagine where you'd be if every time you felt like procrastinating, you pushed through instead. Imagine if instead of putting things off, you had spent the last year consistently working on your goals. How much further would you be? How much closer would you be to the life you want? The reason laziness is so dangerous is that it doesn't feel like failure in the moment. It feels like relaxation. It feels harmless. But over time, it adds up. And one day you wake up realizing you're in the exact same place you were years ago. The people who started when you did have moved ahead, and you're still waiting for the right time. The painful truth is that the world doesn't wait for you to get motivated. The world rewards action. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to keep winning while others stay stuck, it's not because they have some special advantage. It's because they refuse to let laziness make decisions for them. They take action even when they don't feel like it. They understand that every day is a chance to move forward, to improve, to grow. And the people who take advantage of that truth are the ones who see real success. Laziness is comfortable, but comfort is the enemy of progress. Comfort keeps you stagnant. Comfort keeps you living the same year over and over again. The moment you get too comfortable, you stop growing. The people who succeed the most in life are the ones who are willing to step into discomfort, to challenge themselves, to put in the work even when they'd rather be doing something easier. There's a reason why only a small percentage of people truly achieve their dreams. It's not because dreams are impossible. It's not because success is reserved for the lucky few. It's because most people aren't willing to push past their laziness. Most people choose short-term pleasure over long-term success. They choose an extra hour of sleep over getting up and grinding. They choose scrolling on their phone over working on their goals. They choose to wait instead of act. And then they wonder why nothing changes. They wonder why year after year they're still stuck in the same cycle of wanting more but never getting it. But the truth is, change only happens when you make it happen. If you want something different, you have to do something different. If you want to kill laziness, you have to stop making excuses and start taking action. The most successful people in the world have the same 24 hours as you. They face the same distractions, the same temptations, the same moments of doubt. The only difference is they don't let those things stop them. They get up and do what needs to be done regardless of how they feel. They understand that their dreams don't care about their feelings. Their goals don't care if they're tired. Their future success doesn't care if they're in the mood to work. Every time you choose laziness, you're choosing to delay your dreams. You're choosing to stay stuck. You're choosing to let time slip away, time that you will never get back. The scary part is, most people don't realize they're doing it until it's too late. They wake up one day and realize that years have passed and they're still in the same place, wishing they had started sooner. Laziness isn't just about not doing work, it's about avoiding discomfort. It's about choosing what's easy over what's necessary. It's about letting fear of failure keep you from even trying. But the truth is, failure isn't the enemy. The real enemy is never trying at all. The real enemy is sitting on the sidelines, watching others take action while you wait for the perfect moment. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most talented, but you do have to be the hardest worker. You do have to be the one who refuses to let laziness win. Because at the end of the day, success doesn't go to the most gifted, it goes to the most determined. It goes to the people who are willing to show up, put in the effort, and keep pushing forward no matter what. Motivation is one of the biggest lies people tell themselves. They sit around waiting for it, thinking that one day they're going to wake up full of energy, ready to chase their dreams, ready to take action. They believe that as soon as they feel motivated, everything will fall into place. But the truth is, motivation is inconsistent. It comes and goes like the weather, and if you rely on it, you will never accomplish anything worthwhile. The people who achieve real success in life are not the ones who are always motivated. They are the ones who are disciplined. They are the ones who do what needs to be done even when they don't feel like it. Think about all the times you felt inspired. Maybe you watched a video, read a book, heard a speech that fired you up. In that moment, you felt unstoppable. You told yourself, this is it. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to go after my goals. But what happened the next day? What happened when the excitement wore off? Most people fall right back into their old patterns. That's because they were relying on a temporary emotion instead of developing the discipline to follow through no matter what. Discipline is what separates successful people from those who just talk about success. It's easy to work hard when you feel like it. It's easy to be productive when you're excited. But what about when you're tired? What about when life throws distractions at you? What about when it feels like nothing is working? This is where discipline kicks in. Discipline is the ability to show up and put in the work even when you'd rather do anything else. It's about making a commitment to yourself and keeping it, no matter how you feel in the moment. People love to say they don't have motivation, as if that's a valid excuse. But do you think the most successful people in the world wake up every single day feeling motivated? Do you think they never get tired, never feel like quitting, never have days where they want to take it easy? Of course they do, but they push through anyway, because they understand that motivation is a luxury, but discipline is a necessity. Most people don't fail because they aren't talented. They fail because they rely on motivation instead of building the habits that lead to success. If you only work when you feel like it, you will never be consistent. And if you're not consistent, you will never make real progress. Success isn't about one big effort. It's about small, repeated actions over time. It's about showing up every day, putting in the reps, doing the work, whether you feel like it or not. Think about the gym. Everyone is motivated on January 1st. The gyms are packed. People are excited. They have big goals. But by February, most of those people are gone. Why? Because the motivation wore off. Because when it got hard, when life got busy, when they didn't feel like going, they gave up. But the people who stay, the ones who keep showing up week after week, month after month, year after year, those are the ones who see results. Not because they were always motivated, but because they were disciplined. This applies to everything in life. You want to start a business? You better be ready to work even when you don't feel like it. You want to write a book? You better be ready to sit down and write even on the days when you have no inspiration. You want to get in shape? You better be ready to train even when you're tired. Because if you're waiting for the perfect moment, if you're waiting for motivation to magically appear, you will be waiting forever. Motivation is like a spark. It's great to get you started, but it's not enough to keep the fire going. Discipline is what keeps the fire burning. Discipline is what makes sure you keep moving forward, even when the excitement is gone. The best athletes, the best entrepreneurs, the best performers in any field, they don't rely on motivation. They rely on routine. They rely on habits. They rely on the systems they've put in place to make sure they keep going no matter what. People love to say, I just don't feel motivated. But do you feel motivated to go to work every day? Probably not. Yet you still go. Why? Because you have to. Because there are consequences if you don't. That's the mindset you need to apply to your goals. You need to treat them like they are non-negotiable, like skipping a workout, skipping a work session, skipping a practice is simply not an option. Waiting for motivation is one of the biggest traps you can fall into. It's a way to justify procrastination. It's a way to avoid doing the hard work. It's a way to make excuses for why you haven't started yet. But the truth is, you don't need motivation to take action. You don't need to feel like it. You just need to do it. And the crazy thing is, once you start, the motivation usually follows. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates motivation. Think about a car sitting still. It takes a lot of energy to get it moving at first, but once it starts rolling, it becomes much easier to keep going. The same thing happens with your goals. The hardest part is getting started, but once you push past that initial resistance, once you build the habit, it becomes second nature. That's why discipline is so powerful. It takes the decision-making out of the equation. It turns your goals into a routine, something you do automatically no matter how you feel. If you want to be successful, you need to stop chasing motivation and start building discipline. You need to set a schedule and stick to it. You need to show up even when you don't feel like it. You need to develop the mindset that says, I do what needs to be done no matter what. Because at the end of the day, motivation is just a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. But discipline is what builds champions. Discipline is what separates the people who talk from the people who actually do. Discipline is what turns dreams into reality. The biggest mistake people make is waiting. They wait for the right time, the right opportunity, the right circumstances. They tell themselves they'll start tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. They believe they need to prepare more, plan more, think more before they take action. But waiting is a trap. The right time is never going to come. There will always be something in the way. There will always be a reason to delay. There will always be a reason to delay. There will always be uncertainty, discomfort, and risk. People think if they wait long enough, things will become easier, but that's not how life works. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. The more time you waste, the further you fall behind. Every successful person understands one thing. Action is the only thing that moves you forward. Thinking about it doesn't move you forward. Researching, planning, and preparing can only do so much. At some point, you have to take action. You have to get started even if you're not ready. You have to step forward even if you're scared. Too many people spend their whole lives waiting for the perfect moment, only to realize that moment never comes. They look back years later and regret all the time they lost, all the chances they didn't take, all the opportunities they let pass them by. People don't fail because they aren't capable. They fail because they don't start. They fail because they hesitate, second-guess themselves, and talk themselves out of taking action. They fail because they spend more time making excuses than making moves. There are people out there right now, less talented than you, less experienced than you, with fewer resources than you, but they're winning because they took action. They didn't wait until they had everything figured out. They didn't wait until they felt ready. They just started. They understood that the only way to learn, the only way to grow, the only way to improve is by doing. There is no perfect plan. There's no perfect strategy. No matter how much you prepare, you're still going to make mistakes. You're still going to face challenges. You're still going to have moments of doubt. But none of that matters as long as you keep moving. Every mistake is a lesson. Every challenge makes you stronger. Every setback teaches you something valuable. The only real failure is never trying at all. People love to say they're waiting for the right moment, but what they're really doing is avoiding the discomfort of starting. They're avoiding the fear of failing. They're avoiding the work it takes to turn a dream into reality. But success doesn't come from comfort. It comes from pushing yourself to take action even when it's scary, even when it's uncertain, even when it's hard. You don't need more time. You don't need more preparation. You don't need to wait for someone to give you permission. You already have everything you need to start. The only thing missing is action. The people who win in life are the ones who stop making excuses and start making moves. They don't waste time overthinking. They don't let fear control them. They don't sit around waiting for motivation to strike. They just get up and go. They take the first step, and then they take another, and then another, and before they know it, they're further along than they ever imagined. The difference between the people who succeed and the people who don't isn't intelligence, luck, or natural ability. It's action, it's consistency, it's the willingness to take risks, make mistakes, and keep going no matter what. So many people spend their lives stuck in the same place, not because they aren't capable of more, but because they never take the first step. They tell themselves they're not ready, but the truth is, you're never going to feel fully ready. You're never going to have every answer. You're never going to be completely prepared, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that you start. When you take action, everything changes. Doors start to open, opportunities appear. You learn things you never would have learned by just thinking about it. You meet people who can help you, support you, and push you forward. You build momentum, and momentum is powerful. When you take that first step, even if it's small, you create energy, and that energy pushes you to take another step, and then another. Before you know it, you've built a habit of taking action, and that habit changes everything. Most people don't lack potential, they lack urgency. They tell themselves they have time, but time is the one thing you don't get back. Every day you waste is a day you'll never see again. Every opportunity you pass up is one you may never get back. Every goal you put off is another year of your life spent wishing instead of doing. People say, I'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow turns into next week turns into next month, and next month turns into never. Success isn't about getting lucky, it's about getting started. It's about making a decision to stop waiting and start moving. It's about refusing to let fear, doubt, or laziness hold you back. It's about understanding that the only way to get where you want to be is to take action now, not later. Not when it's convenient, not when you feel like it, not when everything is perfect, but now. People who take action, even if they don't have everything figured out, always end up ahead of those who wait. They learn faster, they grow faster, they make progress while everyone else is still thinking about it. They don't let uncertainty stop them. They don't let fear paralyze them. They just move. And because they move, they succeed. Waiting is a choice. Every day you don't take action is a day you choose to stay the same. Every day you delay is a day you could have been closer to your goals. Every moment you waste is a moment you will never get back. The people who win in life are the ones who refuse to waste time. They understand that time is the most valuable thing they have, and they use it wisely. They don't spend it making excuses. They don't spend it waiting. They spend it working, learning, improving, and pushing forward. If you want to change your life, you have to stop thinking about it and start doing something about it. You have to stop waiting for the right time and make the time right now. You have to stop hoping that things will magically fall into place and start making them happen. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to do it for you. If you want something, you have to go out and get it. You have to take action even when it's scary, even when it's uncertain, even when it's hard, because action is the only thing that leads to results. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. The more time you waste, the more you'll regret it later. The only way to get where you want to be is to start moving toward it now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel like it, now.